Rotarians and guests, welcome to the April 7th meeting of the Rotary Club of York. Thank you for joining us on this stunning day. Our members are dedicated to service of self and Rotary's four-way test. Leading us today in our opening song and pledge is past President Brian Tate, and providing our invocation is Michael Reichman. Brian.
Thank you, President. And Rotarians, please join me virtually. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rotarians, please join me in a word of prayer. In this digital age filled with TikTok, Instagram Reels, Snapchat, and YouTube, it seems as though we're as far away from the ages of sitting down contemplatively and taking in words on a page for our imagination to run wild and our attention to be captivated. Social media may facilitate a communal conversation, but it can lack the depth, concentration, and critical thinking that can be brought up through a good book. During this age of unrest, constant noise, and bombastic, loud voices, may we remember that reading and books were the original form of social media, and that their value today is just as important and relevant as it was back when Gutenberg invented the printing press. Bless our local library system for promoting and disseminating the values of lifelong learning, education, and intellectual dialogue. For this, we give thanks and praise. Amen.
Thank you, Brian and Michael, for that lovely start. Those of you that were able to join us last week, we celebrated two moments in history in our club's 105 years in existence. And today, we could potentially be making history together. Friends, could today virtually be the final virtual meeting in the Rotary Club of York's history? Body parts are crossed. I'm excited to remind you that beginning next week, we are returning to the country club for in-person meetings. The meetings will still have limited seating, so please make sure to reserve your spot early. Of course, you are still able to participate via Zoom as we return to this hybrid format. A district development session on social media savvy will be held on Monday, April 12th via Zoom at 6 p.m. And to register, you can go to the district website. Did you know that today is National Walking Day? You can celebrate by signing up for our brand new net walking event on Thursday, April 22nd at 11:30 in downtown York. See the announcer for more details and register with Silas Chamberlain. The virtual Tri-District Conference will be held April 30th to May 2nd. To register and for more details, including the agenda, you can visit the district website. We have a few upcoming meetings. Membership meets today after our meeting. Our board of directors meets tomorrow at 8 a.m. And York City Little League opening day is this Saturday, the 10th. Congratulations to all the players and coaches and families. And up next, here for an update from his backyard on our participation in Give Local York is Darren Smith.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my backyard. We're excited because we are exactly 1 month away from this year's Give Local York. And our partners or the charity we're sponsoring this year, we couldn't be happier with. It is the Child Care Consultants. They are an amazing charity. And what they do is they bridge the gap for working families that are in need of affordable, quality childcare. So with COVID this year, keeping so many children out of school, the need has never been greater and the strain on families has never been greater. So this charity really is one that needs our help this year, and we're happy to be supporting. These grants, they are truly a hand up for these families that allow them to get through these hard times. It prevents a lot of them from falling into situations that they might not otherwise be able to recover from financially. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a quote from one of the deserving families, and you'll be receiving several of these over the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to read it from you so you can hear just the impact that it's having. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to receive this scholarship. It will help my family to financially transition from having childcare works to no assistance, so receiving benefits to not. Even though we both work, the expense of having a child in daycare is still a financial stressor. This scholarship will help ease that stress and give us time to plan for the future. Thank you. So that right there, they're saying, they need the assistance for a while to then go get back on their feet. So by now, I'm sure you're asking, how can I get involved? How can I help and donate to this great cause? So there's two ways. The first way is you can just shoot an email right now. You can even do this while I'm talking. You can jump off. Just go to give an email to Lynn. So it's lmorrison@yorkrotary.org. You can email her and she will invoice you. Just say, please invoice and the amount, for Give Local York. The second and the preferred way, since we don't want to inundate Lynn, since I'm sure she has more than her hands full, is set yourself a calendar reminder, and we're going to remind you as well, on May 7th to go to the Give Local York webpage, and that's givelocalyork.org. That's what it is. And you just search for Rotary or Rotary Club of York, and you can donate on that day and put your credit card in, and it'll charge you to donate there as well. So, and while you're there, there's a lot of other charities. That's the reason we recommend that one, because you can look at a lot of other charities. There's so many deserving charities in York that are local and have good causes behind them. So that's it. Right now you can email in lmorrison@yorkrotary.org or set yourself a calendar reminder on May 7th to go to givelocalyork.org. Thank you all so much for your time and helping us with this great cause, and have a great day.
Thank you, Darren. We really appreciate your leadership and Dee's and that of your committee to ensure that our club is able to support this worthy cause. The pandemic has certainly worsened economic disparities, and having quality, affordable, and accessible childcare is an important element for families to achieve household stability. So thanks to you for your leadership. Thanks to all Rotarians for supporting our important club effort. And this investing in this opportunity is not limited to members of the Rotary Club of York. Challenge your friends, challenge your family and your coworkers to support our community's wonderful one-day give. Good luck to Megan and all those participating in Give Local. And now, as Darren mentioned, emailing Lynn, we have Wilda Alessi is up for an official welcome of Lynn.
Thank you, President Ann, and good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It's my pleasure to formally introduce our new Executive Director, Lynn Morrison, to the club. Lynn officially started on March 22nd and has been quickly learning the ropes. She comes to us from the Lancaster Solid Waste Management Authority, where she served as Director of Community Relations. She also has over 10 years experience as Executive Director at the Hands-On House. Lynn holds a BA from Gettysburg College and a graduate certificate in strategic leadership from Elizabethtown College. She's an alumnus of our Leadership York's counterpart, Leadership Lancaster, and she resides in East Petersburg with her husband, Jeffrey. Lynn, a warm Rotary welcome, and would you like to share a few words with the club?
I would like to share a few words. Thank you so much for your warm welcome. We thought we'd do something fun today, and we're going to have a poll where you're going to learn a little bit about me. So I'm going to lead you in this poll today. We thought it would be fun to give you 3 truths and a lie about me. So here's your choices. And it's your job to pick out the lie. So we'll give you a couple of minutes to look over that and see, what's true and not true there. Ben will let me know when we have enough answers.
Yeah, Lynn, since we have time, do you want to read over those just to
Sure.
give people an idea and just so we can maybe hear the sincerity in your voice when you talk about these?
Oh dear. Sure. So I am one of 7 kids. I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers. Throughout my career, I've worked for human service agencies, cultural agencies, and governmental not-for-profit organizations. My family and I are avid Baltimore sports fans. Go Ravens, and I'll say go Orioles, even though that one's not up on the slide. And in my work and also in my volunteer pursuits, I'm very passionate about working to make a positive impact in our community.
Awesome. We have about
My sincerity
66
through all of that. Okay.
Yeah, there you go, Lynn. We have about 70% of votes in right now. We're going to keep it open for another 15 seconds.
Great.
It's like 75% of you have voted right now. This will be a true test of sincerity here, Lynn. All right, we'll give it 5 more seconds. And a few more coming in here. There we go. 80% of you have voted. Good. All right. And 3, 2, and 1. And there you go, Lynn.
So it looks like the highest votes are that you think the lie is that my family and I are avid Baltimore sports fans. So that's true. And we are avid Baltimore sports fans. And my son has season tickets to the Ravens. And my husband used to be a sports reporter and cover the Ravens and the Orioles for years. So I'm sorry to any Steelers fans out there who we can still be friends. The lie is actually number 1. I am one of 4 kids. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. So that is where the lie came out. So appreciate your votes. It was close, but that's cool. So I wanted to take a couple minutes after this to tell you a little bit about what I've experienced so far at the Rotary and what I've been planning to work on this next month. So a couple of things stick out to me. In the first couple of days and couple of weeks, I've been able to absorb and be part of Rotary. The most amazing thing to me is we have such focused leadership and very committed and great membership. And I've been super impressed at the depth and the generosity of commitment to supporting the community through things like Give Local York, the Literacy Book Drive. So that's been wonderful to learn about. And I have really 3 focus things that I'm trying to work on in this first 30 days. I'm kind of in what I would term the discovery and learning phase. I'm just trying to absorb everything I can about what's the Rotary Club of York all about? What's the structure? What are our committees doing? What we've been doing in the past, and how are we making an impact in the community? And it's a lot to learn. This group is so amazing and is doing so much. So there's a lot to learn. The second thing that's important to me is getting to know the membership. So we're a big club. I've only had the opportunity to meet like maybe a handful of you in person. I've been able to connect with some of you virtually and some of you on the phone. So that's something that I am really interested in, getting a chance to have conversations with each of you, find out, why are you connected to Rotary? Why is it important to you? What do you do in the community? What's your life like? Getting to know you as people. I think that will continue beyond 30 days because with this many members, it's going to take a long time to have those conversations. P.S. I'm a talker, so we're going to have long conversations. The third thing that I'm focused on is really connecting to the community. I live in Lancaster County, so I'm not as familiar with York and what's happening in the York community. And I'm also new to Rotary, so I'm interested in reaching out to the greater Rotary community and learning what's Rotary involved with in the district level, on the national level, and internationally. So those are my 3 focus things. And I would like to ask you guys for help. So in all of those areas, I need your help. I need, of course, your help to meet and greet you. Please reach out. We put my contact information up there. I think Darren gave out my email address, but call me, stop by the office. I'm not in the office every day. We can Zoom, although And I can't wait till we're in person next week and I get to meet a few of you. So please stop and chat with me, help me understand you. And I'm interested in knowing what makes you guys connect to Rotary. I am also going to rely and ask you, who do I need to talk to in the community to understand more what's going on in our community and how Rotary can make an impact? That will be an ongoing pursuit of mine, but I need your help in doing that. And I'm really want to hear your ideas for how we can make Rotary even better than it is today. So I look forward to conversations with each of you and getting to know all of you. So thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this group. Anne, I'll throw it back to you.
Thanks a lot, Lynn. Congratulations again on your decision to join the Rotary Club of York. Welcome. And yeah, right away, you had some feedback from the Steelers fans in the chat.
I knew it would be coming. Yeah.
Also, a shout out to Wilda and Brian for their leadership of the HR committee, and all those are leadership of the club and the individuals that participated in the search that brought Lynn to our organization. We had many, many qualified candidates. It was a very thorough and deliberate search process. And Lynn was really the best of the bunch. And we're very lucky to welcome you, Lynn. We appreciate the fact that you and Bert had a chance to overlap your tenures, and many members will look forward to meeting you in person next week and beyond when we're meeting in person. So appreciate your strategy for onboarding and your learning curve. And certainly there's a lot of support among all the individuals that are members of our club to help make Rotary better. We're looking forward to how you're going to lead us in that. Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you.
So now
Thanks,
for
Anne.
an update on our student educational scholarships is Diane Marino.
Hi, everyone. It's me again with a couple scholarship announcements. The first one is, well, the first two, the Donna E. Hayes Equine Scholarship and the Carol Wagman Nursing Scholarship. We are accepting accepting applications, and these application deadline for these is May 31st. Shout out to Elle Hayes and Carol Wagman. I do know that you're on the call today because I've seen you. Thank you for your very generous legacy gifts. And as always, if anyone is interested in learning more about how to start a named scholarship under your name, please give Glenn Miller or myself a call or shoot an email, and we'll be more than happy to share those details. The third announcement is that we have actually started a new scholarship this year. It's called the RCY Student Education Chairs Scholarship, which this year is me. After putting a few of the committee members together, we started talking about, what do we want to make this about? We have $5,000, so we really want to make it worth it. And as you may know or not know, most of our scholarships go to students either their first or second year. So we decided that we are going to award this scholarship to juniors and seniors in their last 2 years of their college education. Now, they will be dispersed $2,500 for their junior year, $2,500 for their senior year, as long as they maintain a 3.0 grade point average. In keeping with the Rotary theme, we have made this about service above self. They will be required to write an essay on how they have demonstrated service above self in their first 2 years of college. It will also have a financial need component to this. The applicant must be a graduate of a York County high school or currently a resident of York County. We are asking that you please get the word out. This is open to anyone, grandchildren, children that are once again entering their junior year of college. Really excited about it. We are hoping that we get lots and lots of applications. And if you have any questions, again, please reach out to myself or Renee. Renee has been extremely busy the last 2 months preparing the scholarships, getting them out to the schools. receiving the applications. She and I are meeting later today to go through, I think she said about 100 applications so far. And then the scholarship committee will be very busy interviewing students and making sure that these well-deserved students get the money they need to attend college. So, oh, and before I forget, also the non-traditional scholarship, those are due also by the end of this month. The non-traditional scholarship, remember, is for anyone who did not attend college right after high school, but is now pursuing their education. Other than that, I think that's it. Thank you for your time, everyone. Lynn, welcome to Rotary. I think you're going to be awesome. Can't wait to meet you. And everybody have a great day.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Al and Donna, and to all of our members who have supported our charitable endowment fund and these very critical scholarships. Congratulations, Diane, on the Student Education Chair Scholarship. What a wonderful creative opportunity to support juniors and seniors as they complete their degrees. Next up is our business spotlight, and that is on the YWCA York. The YWCA is York County's provider of free and confidential services to victims of violence. They operate a domestic violence shelter, Access York, that has assisted women and families for more than 4 decades, providing emergency shelter, legal representation, and medical advocacy. Access York is currently undergoing a complete renovation. The Victims Assistance Center provides counseling and support groups for people impacted by sexual assault. And their community education department offers age-appropriate violence prevention programs in school districts across York County for grades 2 through 12. Our YWCA's experts work with local and state law enforcement and the FBI to combat human trafficking taking place right here in York County. You can visit their website for more information. Thank you to Jean Truthheart, CEO of the YWCA York and member of Rotary Club of York since May of 2005. And now to introduce our speaker is Tom Donnelly.
Thank you, President Ann. I was deputized by Rotary's membership committee and sent on a mission. Get Robert Lambert to attend a meeting. So President Ann, I am happy to report here he is, mission accomplished. This is National Library Week. And if in 2020, either COVID or just inertia kept you from using your local library, welcome back. You're in for a treat. The staff and even a number of volunteers have been busy over the last 2 years. And Robert and Paula Gilbert, our Director of Youth Services, will be updating us on our successful $10 million capital campaign and done in 2019 and the improvement programs going with that. As Vice Chairman of Martin Library's board, I am happy to be among a member of Rotarians who are active leaders and supporters of the York County Library system. Our club's dedication to libraries and literacy is outstanding, and it makes a statement that our speaker gift each week is a book that we give to a school or library dedicated to our speaker. So Rotarians, thank you for your contributions to the capital campaign, and thank you for what you do and what you support with our work day in and day out throughout the year. Now, Paula spoke just a few weeks ago during Literacy Week. I don't have much to add to her amazing bio, but Paula, you're approaching a well-deserved retirement. And I don't want to take anything from Robert's comments, but in the 35 plus years that you've been with the library system, you've made a difference, such a difference in the lives of tens of thousands of children in the library and the community. You've essentially broken down the walls of the library and have given so much of yourself, not only at work and developed your team, but as a volunteer, making a huge difference. It's been recognized across the state and elsewhere, something that you don't look for at all, but your work honors us all. The library is one of, and actually, here's another mission for me. We hope you'll stay close to us And the best way you can do that is by becoming a Rotarian. The library is one of York County's greatest assets, and we need to keep supporting Robert and our public library team in taking the library system to a whole new level, improving educational and economic outcomes and the quality of life in York County for so many children and adults. Now, Robert Lambert. Robert's such a friendly and engaging person, sometimes hides the fact that he is one of York County's highly effective CEOs in a critical role. Robert grew up in York and graduated from York High. He then served honorably in the United States Marine Corps for 4 years. In 1990, he came home and joined the York County Libraries as manager of information services. As he climbed the ladder at YCL, he committed to lifelong learning, earned a Bachelor of Arts in Speech Communications from York College, a Master's in Library Science at the University of Pittsburgh, a Master's in Public Administration at Penn State Harrisburg, and in 2019, a certificate in Stanford University's Executive Program for Social Entrepreneurship. I want to mention two of Robert's mentors, former Rotarians Bill Schell and Trish Calvani, the collaborators who, along with many others, led the creation of our modern library system. They empowered Robert to develop into an essential team leader. And in 2016, after a national search, Robert was selected president and CEO. One more highlight. Robert is from a high-achieving and closely connected York family. You don't get to where Robert got to without a strong family and community network. Many Rotarians remember Robert's grandfather, John Lambert, who worked at the Yorktown Hotel for 50 years. As head waiter, Mr. Lambert made sure that all were well served. And because of that, he was named Pennsylvania's Hospitality Employee of the Year. Robert told me that in 1999, the day that he joined Rotary, Mr. Lambert took a 15-minute work break and proudly watched from the balcony as his grandson was inducted into our prestigious but not well integrated club. Since 2016 and through this COVID crisis, our York County Library's highly effective team has managed to deliver books and a growing portfolio of other vital services to more than 240,000 York County cardholders, even after the then York County Commissioners reduced annual funding in 2018. So Rotarians, welcome back to our library and welcome Robert and Paula.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for that gracious introduction. And good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Paula and I are extremely excited to be here with you today, not only to celebrate National Library Week, but to share with you information about our capital campaign to restore, upgrade, and renovate 3 of our 13 libraries in York County: the Crites Creek Library in Salem Township, Martin Library in downtown York, and the Kaltretter Benford Library in Red Line. This year's theme for National Libraries Week is Welcome to Your Library, promoting the idea that libraries extend far beyond the 4 walls of our buildings and that everyone is welcome to use our services. And during the pandemic, our York County libraries have been going above and beyond to adapt to our changing circumstances and to continue to meet the needs of our members. Whether people visited our libraries in person or virtually, we continue to offer opportunities for everyone to become their best selves through access to technology, multimedia content, and educational programs. And I want to applaud our library staff for the invaluable role that they have played in supporting our York County communities, both in person and virtually, especially as we continue to fight COVID-19. You know, in times of crisis, our libraries continue to demonstrate value by providing free access to Wi-Fi, ebooks, accurate information, and digital resources. Next slide. If you were asked to identify one tie, one fabric that binds together our county of 450,000 people, over 911 square miles and 72 municipalities, our York County libraries has to be near or at the top of that list. Next slide. Our 13 libraries, from our city of York to Dillsburg to Dover, from Edders to Hellam, Glen Rock to Red Lion, Hanover to Jacobus, Spring Grove to Brogue, and Shrewsbury to Stewartstown. Our libraries build communities, they connect people, they grow minds, and they nourish our souls. Next slide, please. In many cases, our libraries are social, cultural, and economic hubs that radiate productive activity in downtowns and neighborhoods throughout your county. Combined, our libraries normally welcome 1.1 million visitors each year. Next slide, please. Our libraries also generate 1.8 million website visits and lend more than 1.5 million items and provide over 8,000 learning, job skill, and after-school programs in our communities. All of our libraries do great work, and all of our libraries bustle with activity. Next slide, please. So a few years ago, we identified the Christ Creek Library in Hellam, the Cartwright Benford Library in Red Lion, and Martin Library in downtown York as the 3 libraries needing vital physical upgrades so we can continue to serve the growing needs and demands of those communities. In February of 2020, we kicked off a visionary $10 million campaign to ensure those libraries are prepared to meet 21st century challenges and needs. Of that 10 million, 5 would come from state RACP program matching grants, and the other 5 million, the required local matching funds, would come from our generous donors, stewards, and foundations. Next slide, please. And at that time, we didn't know that the coronavirus would wreak havoc on our lives, but we stuck to our plan, we persevered, and our pledgers and donors came through in the clutch. Next slide, please. Fellow Rotarians, I am proud to tell you that we have reached our local campaign fundraising goal of $5 million. And on March the 16th, we held our virtual groundbreaking to commemorate our success. Next slide. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to our amazing capital campaign chairs, Mike Kochenauer and Linda Randall, and our equally amazing honorary co-chairs, Tony Campisi, Jody Keller, and Bill Shipley. And I also want to thank all the members of our awesome boards of directors, our amazing in-house professionals, and all of our inspiring donors and stewards. Our York County libraries bring us together. They unite us, and they define the best of us and the best of York County. So here's a rundown on the investments and return on investments from our capital campaign. Next slide. First, Hellam will finally have a new $2 million library to replace its current modest library operating out of a FEMA trailer since the early 1970s. For almost 50 years, Hellam's Christ Creek Library operated out of a 1,200 square foot trailer, and that is about to change. That library will go from 1,200 square feet to over 8,800 square feet, serving over 44,000 kids, teens, moms and pops each year. Hellam will finally have a new teen center, ample space for hundreds of volumes of new books, new computers for learners and job seekers, and quality broadband speed. And at the same time, the township smartly will build a state-of-the-art municipal facility on township-owned land across Walnut Springs Road. This will be a win-win-win-win for township taxpayers and residents, township frontline professionals, and library customers and professionals for decades to come. Next slide, please. Second, we will make $2 million in improvements to 4,000 square feet of the Calt Ryder Benford Library in downtown Redline. That library will grow from 4,000 square feet to just over 9,500 square feet. This project includes building a new circulation desk, creating a new teen center, providing space for hundreds of new books and resources, adding new computers for learners and job seekers, and expanding broadband access. For the first time, the Children's Library will have access to a new teen center and space dedicated for private study and silent reading. This design includes riser seating as well as interactive exhibits to stir the imaginations. So together we will give Redline a library we can all be proud of for the 21st century. Third, our Venerable Martin Library in the heart of the city will up its game as a hub of learning, entertainment, and connectivity. During a normal year, customers of all walks of life visit about 320,000 times. Visit Martin Library 320,000 times. And also during a normal year, visitors account for more than 1.2 million Wi-Fi uses and over 100,000 computer uses. They also borrow more than 230,000 items each year. These numbers will grow substantially. As part of our capital campaign, 18,000 square feet of Martin Library's 68,528 square foot facility will open an expanded teen area with digital media labs, a place for hands-on learning for youth, and a community gathering wing. Martin will brim with even more literacy programs and learning opportunities that engage all ages. Next slide. Now to enlighten us on how libraries play vital roles and sometimes lifelines for our teenagers and youth, I want to turn it over to my very first boss at the tender age of 17, our esteemed and indefatigable champion for children and youth across York County and our Commonwealth, Director of Youth Services for York County Libraries, Paula Gilbert.
Thank you, Robert. That was very nice of you. And thanks to all of you in Rotary for having me back a second time in a month. It is a pleasure to be here. And as Robert said, we have just broken ground for each of the 3 libraries and the projects that are coming in those libraries. Could you change the slide now? Thank you. As youth services from birth through age 18 are an integral part of our library offerings in York County, so they are going to play an important part in the plans we have put together. Next slide, please. Teens are a major focus of this project. Based on community feedback we received from a series of town hall meetings that Robert held when he first started his tenure as York County Library President, we took those comments seriously and we went one step further to engage actual teens for their input. You can see folks here, these teens are from Red Lion High School. We also went to the other service areas, Eastern High School and William Penn Senior High School, and held focus groups in each of those locations during the fall of 2019 and January of 2020. We asked teens from every area of school life, from the athletes to the artists to the scholastic leaders, to share their ideas about what a teen area should look like, what programs we should hold, and their ideas about how we can connect with them and their friends with the information about our programs. We were thrilled and surprised by the honest and in-depth responses that we received from all three schools. Their suggestions have figured in the planning of these new spaces, and we are looking for ways to continue to include teens in the planning and promotion of our programs. The leadership possibilities and career sampling opportunities are some of the key ways that we hope to engage teens. Providing safe spaces to meet with friends and do homework, as well as providing programs like video and audio production, hands-on learning workshops, and connecting to businesses and community leaders are just some of the things that we are looking to offer to teens in our libraries. Next slide, please. On the other end of the youth services age range are our youngest members, our early learners. We have made this group a priority over the last few years with our 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program and the story times that we have for infants and toddlers, preschoolers, and our special needs children. Next slide, please. In the 3 libraries that are being worked on, each will have a new or renovated young child area, expanding the opportunity for engaging in play and learning in our libraries, and offering safe spaces for families to gather and share experiences. It is important to connect our families with young children to the resources and support they need to flourish. Our libraries will be able to build on what we have currently offer and grow our services in, in the very special member groups. Libraries are key, and they are one of the great features of our growing and successful and productive community. We feel that York County Libraries will continue to lead the way with our new spaces and the exciting new programs that we will be offering. Back to you, Robert.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you so much. Fellow Rotarians, in 2021, our libraries will emerge once again to be our town squares, our factories of learning and imagination, and search engines for jobs and connections. We are so excited. We're excited that this is happening, and we will see that once again, our libraries will be our safe havens for lifetime literacy and learning, early childhood development, family togetherness, social engagement, genuine fellowship, community building, and job training. Our libraries are the beating hearts of our communities in the present and the dreams in progress for the future. Next slide, please. I'd like to end, and you can go to the next slide. Beautiful. I want to end with a quote from the legendary newsman, the late Walter Cronkite, who said, "Whatever the cost of our libraries, the price is cheap compared to that of an ignorant nation. Because of you, these hard-earned dollars are a wise investment that will enlighten and empower our York County communities for this and future generations." Next slide. Thank you all so very much. Please visit yorklibraries.org/Rotary for more information about our capital campaign and to send me any additional questions or suggestions we may not get to today. Thank you so very much.
Robert, thank you for celebrating National Library Week with your colleagues at the Rotary Club of York. Robert and Paula, and to all of your volunteer leadership and donors, congratulations on the renovation and exciting amenities to libraries in Salem, downtown York, and Red Line. It's obviously undeniable the impact that you have had and will have on thousands of our citizens. We do have a few questions for you. what is the vision for the Salem Square Library? Will it receive investment that will allow it to reopen to aid the children and families in the neighborhood? Are there still plans to open other neighborhood library branches?
Oh, yeah, great question. The next chapter in the story of Salem Square is to turn that space over to the community. Excuse me. Apologize for that. So yeah, our vision with Salem Square was to be part of the larger vision for the Salem Square Community Association. And their vision was to have a broader impact and develop a very robust community and economic development plan. The library that we started and partnered with, the Salem Square Community Association was supposed to be the stepping stone, the cornerstone, if you will, to their broader vision. They're on the track to complete that vision. And so we're turning that space back over to the Salem Square Community Association. We will continue to partner with the Salem Square Community Association on literacy programs and after-school programs. But we were happy and excited about going in there, building trust with the community, establishing sort of that foothold in the community for the Salem Square Community Association to begin the next chapter in that neighborhood.
Thanks, Robert. As you know, youth is a focus of Rotary, our club, as well as Rotary International. So the next question is, I believe Paula had put up the slide of the students of Redline in the focus group. So I'll let either one of you decide who will answer this. What was the most surprising suggestion from your youth focus groups?
Oh, I think the most exciting and amazing suggestion was that kids don't want email or social media to get their information. Every single school that we went to said they wanted a poster in the bathroom or in the hallway where they would read it. They're sick and tired of being on screen all the time, and they want to have actual physical stuff telling them what's going on. That shocked us amazingly.
And Paula, was that pre-COVID when you conducted those surveys?
Yes, it was. It was in the fall of 2019 and January of 2020. And so we were very surprised by that. And it was all three high schools, all the students, over 60 some students said that they preferred the actual flyer to having the electronic media. That was the most interesting thing that we heard.
That could be even greater at this point in time with the year of virtual learning under their belts.
That, and they all wanted coffee.
Oh, okay.
They all wanted a coffee bar. So
probably the staff would like that too.
Yeah.
Another question for you. Looking out 5 years, how do you see the impact of 5G digital communication on the libraries? For example, will the need for paper and ink books go down in contrast to having digital access anytime, any place?
No, I don't see the need for digital print decreasing at all. I'm excited about where we're going with broadband. I think it's great. I'm excited about the initiative. For years, we have watched throughout the county, outside of the windows of our libraries, people sitting in their cars using our Wi-Fi. We've seen teens trying to do homework by sitting in their parents' cars using Wi-Fi, especially in the rural parts of the county. So, libraries are about people. They're not about books. They're about people. And our spaces are so important. So, I remember when, if you guys remember Bookland and Borders, and then it was Amazon. And then every time there's some new advent of technology, there's always the question of the value and the future of libraries. And every single time, our libraries demonstrate the value because we are heavily used. We haven't seen any decrease in our use, even with Amazon. No decrease in our use whatsoever. Our computer labs are full all day, every day. The teens are coming to us on the weekends. They're coming to us in the summer when school's out. They're coming to us, after school. And so, we will continue to be heavily valued and heavily needed.
Thanks, Robert. I'm going to combine two questions here because they're very similar. Could you share the annual budget of the library system, the sources of your funding, and then also is County of York funding included in that? Is there a dedicated tax? Is that amount increasing or decreasing?
Annual budget is about 10 million, roughly 2 from the state, another 2 point something from the county, and various other sources. The county funding is included in that. And I mean, I can expand on this in more specific detail. If someone sends me that question, I'd like to be more specific about the sources and uses of funding. But we have a $10 million budget, and that's for 13 libraries.
Thanks, Robert. Would you be able to share how COVID has impacted your operations and community service?
So COVID was, it's been interesting for us as well as for everybody. Again, I want to applaud our staff for the fine work that they've done to shift their way of communicating and interacting and serving our members. We had safety protocols in place, and we still do. Initially, some of our smaller libraries did not allow in-library browsing, so we were doing curbside pickup in our libraries. We still made access to our Wi-Fi outside of the buildings. We mandated masks. We had the cleaning stations around our libraries, and the hand sanitizers. And so, I would say that, our libraries have done very well. We've learned a lot. And here's what I mean by that. Every year we do strategic planning. And this year we decided to do a bridge plan. And the focus of that bridge plan was to look at how we might redefine our services going into 2022. Let's just give you a couple of examples. Prior to COVID, we didn't do online streaming of our programs. People came into our libraries, and that's what should be happening. The question becomes, do we want to continue to do hybrid programs? Do we want to continue to offer online programs in addition to the programs that we have in our libraries? That's a critical question. Prior to COVID, we didn't do curbside pickup. Now we're looking at an opportunity and question whether we want to continue to do that. There may be, we didn't do book bundles. Right now, through COVID, you come into the library, we would bag your books for you, you come in and you grab them and you can go. The question becomes, why not continue that service? We're gonna monetize it, but we're looking at ways to continue that service and other services that we didn't do pre-COVID.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you for your leadership and the service that you and your entire team provide to our community. Robert, now that you've cracked the seal, thanks to Deputy Donnelly wrangling you back into our ranks, we hope to see you more often. In honor of your joining us today and your presentation today, Robert, we have a book donation, and all the credit of that goes to Di Hershey, who started this wonderful tradition with our club. And the book is You Are My Friend, The Story of Mr. Rogers by Amy Reed, will be presented to the YMCA Hanover Library in honor of your visit with us today. Thank you, Robert. And for everyone, next week, our meeting will feature a program by Jesse Audette Munez from Light Source BP, who will share details about Light Source BP's approach to responsible solar energy development and the company's solar projects in Pennsylvania. You'll learn about the latest innovations in solar energy development from a leading company in the field and the social, economic, and environmental benefits of solar. Now, remember, next Wednesday is our hybrid format. So all information and directions, including the link to make your reservation to join us in person at the country club, and the Zoom link for virtual attendance will be available in tomorrow's announcer. There'll be limited audience at the country club for the meeting, including lunch at socially distanced tables based on Governor Wolf's regulations. Hope to see you all next Wednesday. And for our closing song, join Mr. Bruno Mars and put your pinky rings to the moon. We have 24 karat gold. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Take care.